to see
on social media. Okay,
Yeah.
so I agree with that. But then let's open the phone lines so Lagos can actually weigh in on this as well. Because yes, of course, there are a lot of relationships that have been successful for meeting themselves online, and maybe eventually bringing it to the physical. But then the numbers to call 0805 092 0927. You could also call the number 0705 890 4927. You could also call 0802 502 7711. DJ Ryder is here. We've got Harrison here in the building, and we also have Femi joining us. Femi is an accountant, Harrison is a data analyst, and of course, DJ Ryder is a DJ and entertainment mogul. I am OSYB and Monsho Yoruba Boy, and that's all that there is to that. Okay, so we were talking about this from the perspective of, people show you what you want to see. And I'm saying if they can do it online, they can also do it offline. So I'm thinking that Oja Okonkwo statement, it didn't come because of social media. The black market statement that I made, the thing that I said about the fact that you are going to the market to look for a bride, you are buying agbalumo. Everybody that buys agbalumo at this time of the year, the person selling it will tell you it is the sweetest. But it is when you get home and you taste it, you see that this is the sourest thing. If there's any word as sourest, if the most sour, the most sour fruit on the planet. But then the person selling it tells you this is the best, and that's not even a factor of social media. It is just the fact that human beings may or may not be sincere. Sometimes they even say these things because they don't actually have the facts. They just want to sell something.
Yeah.
Every lady or young man out there right now is looking for companionship. People want to get married, whether or not they understand it. No, well, some people want to get married. And the truth is, when you meet us, we will show you the best foot forward.
But I'm looking for the worst food.
Okay, he's looking for the worst food.
So
online dating should help you.
No, it will be easier to find the worst food if I'm seeing you physically.
So that I know exactly what I'm getting
Okay, I beg to differ, but we need to go on a quick break. When we come back from that one, we will be getting back into this conversation on DMN. We're talking online dating and the indices, the factors that might not necessarily work on a global scale. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
92.7 Super FM.
My people, no matter say the year 2024 goes
I'm not even looking forward to someone telling me about a person for me to make my decision.
Final decisions.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love to know the person myself.
Personally.
Right. And so what are the things I'm looking out for when I'm with you personally?
Okay.
I'm watching how you treat others,
One.
not even how you treat me. How you treat those that are older, how you treat those that are subordinates, how you talk about other people. Chances are you might be undergoing work stress and you're around me. I would watch how you handle that work stress. That gives me a sense of who you are and how to deal with you when I get into those issues with you. Of course, marriage is a lifelong experience.
Yeah.
It's forever till death do us part.
It's the only institution where before you get into it, you already have
Your
the
certificate.
certificate.
You understand?
And you never graduate.
You never graduate.
Exactly. So I'm not looking for a perfect person. I myself am not perfect, right? But then again, and if those traits, as a person, I'm not talking about other people. It might work for you. And the truth of the matter is, when you say it works for that person, are you in the marriage?
Well, it worked for
Do
them.
you-
Why we saw?
On the surface level, on the deep
We wouldn't
level,
still be Harrison. Even with the people you met in person, with the people you met in person and you dated for as long as possible, and you saw every day, and you saw the way they reacted to people, how good they were with children or whatsoever. We just saw them. We are not in that relationship with them. So when we say it is working for them, we don't also have absolutes on the marriages that were. It works both ways. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's not whether or not we see it start on social media, or it's a social media relationship that ended in marriage, or whether or not we see these people met, they dated, they courted, they were university mates. We still do not know what's happening in the marriage except they give us that information.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's two ways, and I'm thinking for some people it would work. For some people, it's the best thing for them. For some people, it's not going to work.
Exactly. Different strokes for different folks.
Well, different strokes for different folks. Whatever works for you is probably your religion. But then thank you so much to everybody who is listening right now. But then if you want to be a part of this conversation, so it's not just Harrison, myself, and Toby, and DJ Ryder, and Femi who are having this conversation, please call the number 0805-092-0927. We'd like to feel your pulse on Dear Men today. Online relationships, dating online. Is it something that you would opt for? Is it something you would advise your sibling or someone you know to opt for? Back in the day, when it was not social media relationships, let's talk about this. Arranged marriages. Oh, they are telling you about one guy who is someone's cousin in the US or in Canada or in Germany or somewhere. He's been in Europe for a while, and then he needs a wife, and they need to bring you an African wife, and then they bring you a picture.
Yeah.
This is sort of what it was. Some of those relationships, I would hear my parents at the time say, man.
Actually ended up well.
He ended up well. And then some of although that person, they found out that this person was having this kind of issue. Maybe he had something, or this person that picture that you saw was taken 20 years ago. The person was way older or something around that. But then we saw that some of these relationships
Still
worked.
Yeah.
So, but let's look at it as something where you're doing something without so much information. Because at the end of the day, what we are looking for is information. If this is there, this person has had this past, this is the history, I don't want to have anything to do with it. But what if this person actually meets you and tells you everything, whether or not in person or online? Do you think it would work for you?
All right, so I think a lot of things worked for our parents back then, and even for our grandparents. But how do I put it? They are not going to work for us in this generation.
Why? How?
Yeah, because back then there weren't a lot of trust issues like we have now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It was. I mean,
I was
there
going to
weren't
say
a lot
that
of
we had
trust
a
issues.
more modest world
then.
as compared to now, the world we live in.
Do you think the world has changed? I just think the fact that the fact
Drastically.
that information travels faster makes it seem like the world has changed.
The world has changed.
It has. So
It has changed.
The world has always
In
been.
fact, change is the only constant thing. Let's leave it.
Yeah, change is the only constant thing. But then human beings have always had the same nature of maybe hiding
Human
the bad
beings have evolved.
and showing the good.
We've evolved.
do you know
So
that?
we hide the bad better and faster now.
No, we hear about the bad that didn't hide well faster. No, that's what I
No,
think it is. Social media has brought more information out.
Yeah, but it has.
I don't
also
think
brought-
our parents had it better.
That's true. Social media has given us a lot of information. So it has given us both good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So social
That's
media has
the topic for
been
another day.
has actually been both to an advantage and a disadvantage to us. All right, so that's why I said we have that thing going on for our parents and our back parents in those days. And I mean, it worked for them. But right now, with the advent of social
but the truth is, it's still just a medium of human interaction. It's not that item that is bad. It is the way human beings use it. It is the human flaw that we should look out for. And the human flaw exists regardless of social media, which means a lady can be dating you and 6 other guys, and she sees all of you daily, and she manages you and hides chats and clears chats and does all of that. And she tells,
she must be very smart.
and she's doing that with, and then there are women or there are men who are, they have girlfriend one, mechanic, Yanokwaja, something go slow. And you know, when the wife is at home with the wife and she just, mechanic Yanokwaja is calling you, and she doesn't even think to pick the call. And then when he picks mechanic Yanokwaja's call, he just talks and then moves on. You know, people have been able to hide things in plain sight. And I think regardless of social media or what it has brought with it, human beings have always been crafty, and it will take a discerning heart, regardless of social media or physical dating, to actually be able to tell the intent of a person when you're dating them.
Exactly.
We need to go on another quick break. When we come back, of course, we'll take calls, text messages, and the like. Stay tuned. Still a Super FM 92.7. We'll be right back.
Baby, I've been searching for my only one, and you made me feel like now my life has just begun. Hey, I'm so glad I found you now, my work is done. And it's perfect mathematics when two become one. Baby, I agree. Baby girl, you complete me. What's in I go do if you know that you and I were meant to be, baby. Just like the stars were made to light the skies, and like the pretty birds were made to fly, like the sun was made to shine, and the moon was made for night, like the sky is blue. Baby, I was made for you. I was made for you.
tunes and great music. Of course, Harrison is still here in the building, and we're talking about the right questions and how, physical dating trumps online dating. And that is what we are talking about today. We received 1 or 2 calls. Toby, thank you so much for letting us know your success story in this same vein. But then the men in the studio still want to agree that, the physical connection makes it easy to detect certain things. And I'm like, wait until you date a CIA agent. Or you think you're dating someone that sells newspaper and the person happens to be an agent of SEAL or something. But then, parting shots, because what we want to do is also create a standard where our brothers are not making mistakes.
Yeah.
Where if you can avoid a broken relationship as opposed to a marriage that is doomed not to work, let's avoid it right here. So, parting shots from you, brothers.
Okay, so I think I'll let Harrison go first.
Okay, Harrison.
Why do you want to allow
your parting shots?
So I think so because of the nuances that go into the dating pool, right? I think where I would want to talk from would be that I believe everyone should be more emotionally intelligent at this time. If your emotional intelligence quotient is quite high, you'll be able to pick up on the red flags easily, even if they are not visible. So even when you ask, for example, even when you ask the right questions and you're probably expecting a correct answer, and the CIA, like you rightly said, gives you a wrong answer, you could pick subtle cues from. Of course, this can only be picked when you see the person physically.
My lie detector, my lie detector friend.
From the person's eye contact, from the way the person moves her hand, the way from the body language generally, you can pick up some of these subtle cues. So basically, what I would say is, the last time when I was in the studio, I talked about men becoming more masculine, right? I want to believe that one of the ways you can actually boost your masculinity is to be very emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
Of course. So if you build your emotional intelligence quotient properly, you'll be able to navigate through life properly. But in business, of course, even in business, we experience some of these kind of things, right? But in business, in marriage, in whatever kind of relationship you get into, it is easy for you to see or to understand a person's intention towards you, and then, of course, act accordingly.
Okay, of course. Let's keep it within 60 seconds, Mr. Femi.
All right. So for me, I would say that life is a matter of choice. All right. So at the end of the day, you choose where you want to belong and what you want to do. So if you choose to do online and then you think that it's going to work for you, like Toby said, I mean, it's a choice.
Yeah.
But if you also feel that you have to have that physical connection and all that, it's also a choice. So know that whichever one you choose, you are going to live with that choice that you have made.
Yes, definitely.
Right? And so that choice, now that we're talking about marriage, it's not a choice that you, want to opt out.
Yeah.
It's something that you do for eternity. So whatever choice you decide to go with and you choose, just know that you're going to live with the consequences there.
For a lifetime.
All right, for a lifetime.
Okay, thank you so much, Femi and Harrison. Big shout out to DJ Ryder for serving us great music in the midst of this conversation. Dear man returns next week, Monday. But then we will try our best to remain faithful, we'll remain loyal, and we'll be good men. That's what we will try to be. Thank you so much. We hope that you're going to make a choice to be a good man. And regardless of whether you choose to date online